If you're struggling with building a complex n8n sub workflow to build multi-agent AI system, stop right. n8n just dropped a game-changing feature that lets you orchestrate multiple AI agents on a single canvas. I'm about to show you exactly how to build your first AI agent team in next 10 minutes. By the end of this video, we'll have a working multi-agent system that thinks and operates like a real human, with the main agent managing sub-agent, delegating tasks, and the best part, no sub workflow required. Here is what we're building today. It's a multi-agent AI system where we have a main agent, and then it's connected to a large language model. I also got a memory, and then it connected to 3 agent tool. That's what we're going to talk about today. Deep dive into the agent tool. Let me show you how it works. The lead agent has processed the user query and then delegated it to the research agent to find the latest AI tools. It researching the tool. From that, then it goes to the calendar agent, the mail agent, and send an email to you. In this video, we'll cover the full setup, the prompt engineering secret, and I'll show you 3 common mistakes that could break your entire agent team. I have breaking this down into 4 simple steps plus a bonus technique at the end that most people miss. Don't forget, you can download the complete agent team template I'm building today absolutely for free by clicking the link in the description so that you can download and play around with it. Here is what we're building today. It's a multi-agent AI systems. This one is the first. This is the main agent. It's connected to a large language model. We also got a memory. Then it's connected to 4 different tools. These tools are the tools which has been recently released by n8n. These are the agent tool. It's connected to email agent, it's connected to contact agent, and it's also connected to research agent. And finally, it's connected to thinking tool. When you're connecting multiple tools on an agent, it's better to use this tool because it's allow you to think it through before you take any action. I have a full video on how to use this thinking tool. I will link that in summary up here so that you can have a look at that. Let's ask something. I'm going to ask it to go and research the latest AI tool release in last week and summarize that and email it to me. The main agent has got the query. The first hit the research agent because it needs to research what was the latest tool released in last 7 days. It's now, I think it's summarizing the information. It got the information back from Perplexity. Now it's hitting the contact agent, getting the contact details for the person it needs to send an email. So now it's going back to the email agent and I believe it successfully sent the email. Looks like it successfully sent the email, and it also summarized what was the latest tool has been released in last week in AI. There's so much happening in AI space. Everything happened in real time. In this video, we will cover the setup, the prompt engineering, and I will show you 3 common mistakes that could break your entire agent team. I will break this down into 4 simple steps plus a bonus technique at the end that most people miss. And don't forget that you can download the complete agent team template I'm building today absolutely free by clicking the link in the description below. First, let's understand what makes it different. You can see on the screen, this is a traditional multi-agent AI system. So you have the main agent, and then these are all the sub-agent which is get connected to this, contract is connected to that, and research agent is connected to that. For simplicity, I'm showing it here, but practically these are all lives in a separate canvas connected through this execution node. As soon as you wanted to call the email agent, it goes through, it execute this email agent and complete the task. As you can see, it makes it harder to debug because they're not all in the same canvas pages. You need to figure out exactly where something went wrong. As I said, this is sometimes it's very harder to debug when you have a sub workflow. But the AI agent tool will not change everything. As you can see, this is the setup which we just went through. All the agents are all living in the same canvas. It's easier to debug and manage. In terms of output, in my experience, it provides more consistent work because the complexity, it's much simpler and not complex. The more complex you make your workflow, the more chances to go and get it wrong. Everything in one page, it gives you better chance of getting consistent outcome from your AI agent. Think of this: you have a bunch of employee work in various office. In order to communicate, sometimes it's difficult because they all works from various building or various places. But think of this: the new AI agent node is that all of your employees working in the same location. The communication and collaboration with each employee is much easier in that sense. Let's head down to the n8n canvas and build it from scratch. First of all, head down to n8n.io. If you don't have an account, set up an account, go to the billing process. It gives you a 14 days trial, and you can try out all the various n8n function and decide if it is the right tool for you. The other way is that, and that's one of the reasons that n8n is very popular, because it's an open source, so that you can host it on your computer and it doesn't have to pay any monthly subscription. I have a full video on how to set that up. I'll link that here so that you can check that out. Once you've gone through the sign up process and you logged in, it will come up, it will end up in here. Your one might look a little bit different. This is my one. Then first thing what you can do is just click here and create a new workflow. It gives you a blank canvas. First, always name the workflow. Let's call it AI agent demo. It's always good to name your creation. Otherwise, once you have too many of these, it's really hard to figure out which one is what. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to click this button and we'll select a trigger. So the trigger is the things which will activate the workflow or your AI agent. For us, what trigger we're going to have a chat trigger, because you wanted to communicate with our agent. So you can have various triggers. You might have a manual trigger, you might have an app event, which means some of all these app will be able to trigger your workflow. You might have a form submission if someone submits something, and then the workflow will activate, or it might be connected to a webhook which is connected to something else. Yeah, less for us, let's look for a chat trigger. We don't have to do anything in here, just leave as it is. The next part is the important, which is AI agents. To find our AI agent, click here. This is our AI agent. We'll come back to the settings of this later. First, I wanted to show you, this is your AI agent. Let's change the name. We call it a main agent. As you can see, it needs a few things. The most important part is it needs a chat model, because that's the brain of this main agent. To add a chat model, click the plus button. There's various options here, and each of them has different there are various options you can choose. Some of these specialize in certain things. I have a video I created. I went through each of this model and explain what is good for, what is best for, when should you use this model, and when shouldn't you use certain of this model. I will link the videos in here so you can check it out. For us, what I'll do, use one of my favorite one, which is an OpenAI chat model. As you can see, I have the list of credentials. But for you, if you haven't connected your OpenAI account, as you can see, my one has already been connected to OpenAI account. For us, for you, if you haven't connected to OpenAI account, there's a way you can do that. Click new credential. You need some of this information. You need the API key, organization ID, and the base URL. Base URL is already been filled out. Organization ID, you don't need it. Only thing you need is an API key. To get an API key for OpenAI, you gotta go to this website. It's called platform.openai.com. You can Google it up like OpenAI API key. Once you logged in, head down to these settings. It's a bit slow today. Load up. On the left-hand side, you can see API key. As you can see, I have created quite a lot of API key. Create a new secret key, give it a name, and create the key. Copy that and then paste it in here. For me, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to delete that key. So once you connect to your API key, we will have access to all the various OpenAI model. For our case, it will use 4.1. And there are a lot of settings you need to do, but at the just purpose of this demo, we're just going to leave as it is. Then the second thing you need to do is to give it a memory. There are various options to give memory, but for our case, we use simple memory. What it's doing is that basically it's taking your computer memory. So what it means is that once you restart the computer or restart the session, the AI agent won't be able to access those memories and start fresh again. But if you wanted to build a serious AI agent where you want your AI agent to remember the context and the previous conversation, in that case, you will have to select a different set of memories. That is the tool. That's where we'll be adding all of our sub agent. The first, let's find the AI agent tool. There you go. There's a couple of things we need to fill out. The description is really important. You need to describe what this tool is supposed to do. For us, what do you want to do? You want to build a mail agent, email agent. After naming the tool, the next is the description. We can keep it simple to explain what this tool is, because our main agent will read this description and figure out, does it need this tool for executing in the task. Use this tool to read email, draft and send email. Keep it really simple. It depends on the complexity of the tool. You can provide more context here. And the user prompt is what we want this tool to do, and which will happen. Who will provide those user message or user prompt is the main agent. Main agent will provide those prompts, and we can't define that here. What I do is click that button. The main agent will decide the user prompt based on the requirement, which is a simple system message. You are a helpful AI assistant because you'll be sending emails. All of those sign off as Aftab. If you're sending an email, it will sign off as my name. With the mail agent, it needs a tool. It needs a chat model. We'll do open because we have connected OpenAI. We'll do OpenAI. In this case, we'll do 4 or mini. We don't need a memory for this one, but we will need some tool. What we'll do, we use Gmail. Again, it's the same process how we previously get our API key for OpenAI. To do that, go there, create a new credential, and you'll have to source this client ID and client secret. The easy way to do that is open the doc and follow the step-by-step process to get to client ID and client secret. If you have any issue with that, drop me a note in the comment and I'll get back to you. Once that's done, the tool description, leave it as the same automatic. Research, we want to message. First of all, we want to get message, and message ID, we don't know. So let the AI decide what the message ID is going to be. We can do get email. The other tool we can do is email. What you do is copy that and Control V, and let's change that. Instead of get, we'll do send email. To send email, there's a few things you need to fill out: the address, subject, and the message itself. Again, we don't want to fix that value because we want our agent to send email to whoever we want based on the contact details we have. Yeah. Again, we click that, so the agent will decide on the email address, the subject, and the message. The rest as it is. Let's close that. We got our first sub agent done. The next one, contact agent. Agent tool. Contact agent. Use this tool to get the user contact details, email address. Same as before. Automatic system message, you're a helpful assistant. Let's move it here. Same process with the chat model. I'm connecting separately. Just copy from the last one. That will work. Tool wise, so it depends on where you normally store your contact details. It could be a CRM, it could be a Google Sheet, it could be an Airtable. For my case, it's Airtable. Set automatically, resource record, or operation. You want to get information. Let's find the right table. Contact demo. The table name is contact. Record ID. Let the AI decide what it is. There you go. That's done. That's our second AI agent, our second sub agent. The third one is agent 2. Same process. Call it a research agent. Same thing. Give it a description. The prompt. Connect that, and then we need to connect research tool. You can use various research tool. Research tool is basically, it means that it's going to go out and search the internet. You can use Tably. I like to use Perplexity. I have an API connection already set up in Perplexity, but if you don't have it, click that. You need an API key. To get that, open you need to go to the Perplexity account. Mine is already logged in. On the left hand side, you have API group. Oh, sorry, it'll be API key. You can see my API key already in there. I can just copy that and put it in here. The same as the other tool description, set automatically. Operation, messenger model. Send a message. There are various models you can choose. I choose the first one. And the message is, what do you want to send? It to be automatic because we want our main agent to send the note, what the main agent to communicate with this research agent. We want our main agent to communicate directly and send instruction what it wants us to research. Again, that will be dynamic and change. We cannot provide fixed information. We'll click that button, which will dynamically change, dynamically select what it needs to research. The other thing we can do is system message. What you can do is urn helpful state. Again, this is demo purpose only, because when you're building an agent system in the real world, your system message will be much more comprehensive. Let's change that. We got to go back to the main agent. We need to set up a system message to explain what it needs to do and when and how to use this tool. So I have prepared a system prompt, very basic. You're a helpful AI assistant. You have these tools you can use for user query, email agent, use this agent to read email, draft an email, and send an email. Then you have contact agent, use this tool to get contact details in a particular email address for sending email, and research tool, use this tool for conducting any research in the web or internet. I'll give it this expression. Let me show you. If you do double curly bracket, it's got current time and date with it. It's important because if you ask it, can you give me last 7 days? Can you do research on the internet to see what is the new tool release new AI tool release in last 7 days? Because it doesn't have access to the real time, you need to give access to real time through this function. Here you go. We are done. Let's take it for a spin. Let's do the same one. What are the latest AI news? No, let us do what are the latest AI tools in last 7 days. Summarize them and send to after in an email. Let's see, send it away. Going to the main agents, obviously, first of all, it hit the perplexity, something wrong, it didn't work. Let me check what's going on. Okay, Brittany didn't like this. So I delete the system message. Okay, let's try it again. Save it. So again, same thing. It hit the main agent, hit the research agent, so it's conducting the research. Some reason it didn't like the system message. Just delete that, and then it's doing the research currently. It takes a few seconds to complete the research. It's completed its research. Now it's summarizing. So now hit the contact agent. I had some error in the contact database. Something wrong. Let me have a look. The research you're requesting couldn't be found. The record ID. Just remove the record ID. Leave it blank. What's the latest? Straight away hit the research agent using the perplexity again. Takes a few seconds to done the research, search the internet. Completed the research, summarizing. It's hitting the contact agent. Looks like it worked. Getting the data from the Airtable. So now I hit the email agent. Here's a summary of the latest business news from the past week, which I have sent it to aftab@gmail.com. So that's correct because I didn't give my email address. I picked it up from the Airtable and summarize the latest news. You have your multi-agent AI systems. And I know it's a very basic one, but again, you can download this. I will share the template. Again, it's a very basic agent, but if you wanted to play with it, I will have the downloadable link below in the description, so you can download that for free and import it into your canvas. And the way to import is that you click these 3 dots and import from file. So then you'll be able to modify it, change it, and play with it. Here are some pro tips that will separate you from the beginners. First of all, when you're building an AI agent, always connects memory. So obviously in my demo, I showed you simple memory because that's easier. But in terms of when you're building an actual AI agent to solve actual problem, you have to choose one of these memory, because you don't want your AI agent to have a very short-term memory. Every time you restart the systems, it forgets everything. You want your AI agent to continuously learn and evolve from the user. The second tip is error handling. When you're building an actual AI agent, think about how you're going to manage error handling. Now you know how to build multi-agent AI teams in n8n using the new AI agent tool node. Key takeaways: first, use the AI agent tool for single canvas orchestration. Second, name your agent correctly and give them a description. Always instructed your main agent to pass context between agent. And the fourth is start simple and scale up. So you have just learned a technique that can automate business processes with intelligent AI systems. This isn't just about AI n8n, it's about building AI system that thinks and work like a human, and ultimately reduce cost and generate more revenue. If you're still around and if you're still watching, that means that you like the video. Please hit the subscribe button, and I'm releasing more n8n tutorial every week. Drop a comment below with what kind of agent you are planning to build. And if you have any further question, you can also drop that in the comment and I'll get back to you. Until then, thank you.